Right then, Tottenham up next for Manchester United at Old Trafford. Now, so much negativity still going around Manchester United, but a massive game in prospect for Manchester United, and a win in this game may stop a little bit of the negativity and give a bit positivity to Manchester United fans, because lately, with the lack of transfer activity, it has been toxic around the social media and everything else, and it's not all about the transfers. What goes on the pitch is much more important. And Manchester United have got to worry about what's on the pitch. We can't, if we don't sign any players, we've just got to get on with it. It's going to be fucking frustrating if we don't, but to be honest, the players that are on the pitch have got to perform, and got to perform to a high enough standard for Manchester United to carry on doing what, to progress in. And some of these young players have got to improve. They really have this season. Take the next step level in performances and production on the pitch to get Manchester United further ahead, closer to the Liverpools and the Manchester Cities, and that's what we really want. And whether it's going to happen, we just don't know, because we will have to wait and see. But this is a really difficult game. I think Tottenham are playing quite well of late. They put 7 past the team in the week. They beat Chelsea in the League Cup as well on a penalty shootout. And the previous weekend they were very unfortunate not to come away with the win against Newcastle. The only thing that's making me a bit positive about this game is that they've had a shit ton of games lately. Okay, a League Cup game got cancelled for them, but they've had 3 games in the space of when we played 1. So we've got to think of that as a positivity. And watching the fact that the likes of Harry Kane were playing most of that game in the week gave me some positivity. That, I mean, when they were about 5-2 up, I would have whipped him off straight away to get them fresh for the weekend. But luckily that most of them were staying on the pitch till late in the game, so that hopefully they'll be a bit fatigued, because it is a lot of football that some of these players have had to play. They did rotate a bit in the other game against Chelsea, but it gives me confidence, because it is hard to do 3 games in a week. It really is. 2 midweek games is fucking difficult. It really is. So hopefully that gives Manchester United a bit of confidence going into this game. But Manchester United are hopefully going to revert back to a similar lineup to what we put out in previous games, rather than the rotated lineup that he put out in the cup game. So you would expect David De Gea to come back in goal, but most people know my opinion. I think that it should be now Dean Henderson in goal, or someone else. I just think that David De Gea is not good enough anymore to be Manchester United number 1. Still a decent shot stopper, but lets far too many goals in still. Whether that's communication with the defence, the lack of confidence between him and the defence, I don't know. But he does let too many goals in for my liking, really does. And we don't keep enough clean sheets with him in goal. We really don't. He just doesn't give me any confidence that Manchester United are. I would put Henderson in goal, but it's going to be De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka will come back in at right back. Hasn't been his best of late, but he's our best right back. Then it will be Luke Shaw at left back, and he'll probably go with Lindelof and Maguire as the centre halves, but it should be Lindelof and Bay as the centre halves. Bay is the best defender we've actually got at the club, in my opinion. Actual best defender. The other, I mean, you're looking at Harry Maguire, bought him because he's good on the ball or whatever bullshit that they say these days. But I just want someone that can defend the fucking back line, and I think Eric Bay is the best out of that Manchester United got. It's just his injury record is horrendous for Manchester United. But it will probably be Lindelof anyway at the back. The midfield's going to be really interesting to see, because I mean, I don't know what he's going to go. I think he's going to go with Pogba, Matic, and then Bruno Fernandes a bit further forward. That's what I think he's going to go for in this game. But a lot of people think that it should be Van der Beek instead of Pogba, and I would agree with that, to be honest. I really would. I think that Pogba hasn't started very well this season. He got himself a deflected goal in the week, which will hopefully give him the confidence to move forward. But he's not been at his best yet, still very rusty. So I would start Van der Beek, but it will probably be Pogba in there. Then the front three's got to be Martial, Rashford and Greenwood. It really has. Whether it's Greenwood or not, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I don't really know if Solskjaer completely favours Greenwood at this moment in time. Didn't come on in that game in the week, but wasn't actually needed really to come onto the pitch in the second half, because we got the extra 2 goals and then he brought Lingard on. I would like to have seen him bring, instead of Lingard on, I would like to have seen him bring Ted and Menge on for a run out in that game when we were 3-0 up. It would have given him some game time, because we're 1 or 2 injuries away in centre half to an absolute crisis with the luck, because you can't rely on Bay's injury record, Jones' injury record, or Tuanzebe's injury record. the only two that can stay fit are Lindelof and Maguire, and you can't rely on just two centre-halves. So I would like to have seen him get some game time, because if Tuanzebe has to be given game time, then he's going to be rusty as fuck, because he's not even playing for the fucking under-23s at the moment, which is a problem as well for Manchester United. But we just have to wait and see what happens there. Anyway, no centre-half's going to come in, so we just got to get on with it how it is. Probably no new signs will even fucking come in at this rate, unless it's a panic buy, which is bullshit. But we do have to carry on going with what we've got. I hope it's Martial, Greenwood and Rashford up front, although Greenwood and Martial haven't looked very good this season when given the opportunity, in my opinion. I know Greenwood got a goal against Luton, but that was just a... he's going to score goals. If you give him the ball in the right areas, he will put the ball in the back of the net, but I don't know if his performances are actually warranting the start that he would deserve. If Sancho was at Manchester United, he would probably be the one on the substitutes bench at the moment, because his overall performances haven't been great of late, and a lot of some of his games for Manchester United, I don't feel his actual overall performances have been too clever in the first team. But when he's picked up the ball and in the penalty area or outside the penalty area, just around them areas, if he gets his shot away, then more often than not it's been in the back of the net. But there's no problem that having him in the team, because he's doing that, is so much better than Dan James, because Dan James isn't offering anything either in terms of his productivity, but Dan James isn't offering the goal scoring threat that Greenwood's offering. But that's why Greenwood's getting in the team for me, because of his goal scoring threat for Manchester United, which is over. Juan Mata is probably definitely performing better than Mason Greenwood of late, definitely has, but obviously he's so much more of a goal threat than Juan Mata is. So that is the reason why he's in the starting lineup for me. He can score so many goals from anywhere, just give him the ball and he will shoot, and most of the time they're on target or in the back of the net. So that is the reason at this moment in time. But as I say, he probably would have been dropped if Sancho had come in, because Sancho is probably at this moment could be might be ahead of him at the moment. I'm not too sure. It's a difficult one to say, but we will have to wait and see. Sancho won't probably come in anyway, so we've got to make do with what we've got going into this season. But we're one injury away from that forward line of being a crisis for Manchester United. But obviously there's competition for places in that midfield, and I'm hoping that midfield is going to perform well, because Bruno Fernandes hasn't really had the best of starts for Manchester United, so he's got to have a good game in this game if Manchester United are to get anything from this game. But I think the likes of Harry Kane could cause Manchester United problems. He's getting better in form now than he was at the start of the season. He was a bit rusty himself, because there wasn't really a pre-season for any team. So I can understand why a lot of players are rusty. He's been out injured before, Harry Kane, so he's going to cause Manchester United a lot of problems. But they've got the likes of Lucas Moura and a lot of decent players in and around their team. It does though look like Heung-min Son could be out of this game, which could be a bonus for Manchester United. Obviously you never want anyone to be injured, but him not playing could really help Manchester United, because he's a fantastic player and can score goals, create goals as well. I think it's going to be a difficult game for Manchester United. I really do. I think that we're going to struggle to beat this team. I'm going to go Manchester United drawing this game 2-2. I just can't see Manchester United getting the 3 points at the moment. We're not playing well enough, I don't think, to win this game. You can't really go by that 3-0 win in the week against Brighton, because it was such a rotated side. And although it is against Premier League opposition, as I said the other day, they rotated their side a bit as well, and they weren't too heavily focused on that. They're more focused on staying up in the Premier League. So I think it's going to be a difficult game for Manchester United, and I think we might have to settle for a share of the points in this one. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, and hopefully there will be some more news to break soon, to more transfer latest to talk about when we sign some players. I'm hoping when, rather than if we sign some players, because if we don't sign any players, it's going to be a fucking shit end to the transfer window. Anyway, like the video if you're watching it on Facebook, or on YouTube as well. If you're not watching it on YouTube, head over to All Things Man United on YouTube and subscribe there. If you're watching it on Facebook, please do hit the share button. It really does help us get this video noticed. And I'll talk to you all again soon. See you.